Welcome to game number 4 of getting a rating at chess.com. And it starts with e4, e5, and on knight f3 we've been playing knight f6. It's the kind of repertoire that we're doing. So we're into the Petrov. That's what it does here. So the moves that takes is probably most common. Then d6 is what you want to be playing here, and again most common is just going back with the knight, allowing me to pick up the pawn on e4. We'll see what they go for. See how much theory they know in the Petrov. It's probably less studied than some of the other opening lines. Okay, so it goes to c4. So I'm not familiar with this. It's protected, so I think we're fine just to pick up the pawn there. I suppose the prospects of that knight are just a bit restricted really on c4. You don't have anywhere to really go with it. It's bishop d3. So d5 is the first thing you're looking at, but if he takes, I take. I don't know if that's what I want to be doing. I'm thinking just drop the knight back. That's what we're going to go for. And the thought process being, the downside to your bishop being on d3 is that your d pawn isn't moving and this bishop isn't going anywhere down this diagonal anytime soon. So castles. We can gain a tempo with d5. But I think we'll play principled. That bishop's going out to e7. I suppose actually the other bit is could have gone g6, bishop g7. That would have been perfectly fine, I think. So the next kind of moves we're looking at d5, maybe a c5, getting this bishop out either to e6, potentially g4. Out. We'll stand it on e6. So there's a few options here. I'm not quite sure what's best. Maybe developing the knight was better there, or castling, but I think they're all fine moves, and we'll save our time for when we might need it a bit later in the game. So I think the bishop's doesn't really want to be standing on d3 because it's stopping the bishop from developing, and this knight doesn't really have any prospects. Okay, so it's come to attack. Attack b7. Can I let you have it there? So what happens, let's say I play c6, and you go in to take it, and I play my queen there. You're not getting out of there, are you? You're not going back where you came from, and all your other routes are taken. So the best you can do is sack a pawn, I think, in that line. So I think I can get away with c6. If you take, I'm going queen b6, because that also prevents the bishop from going to a6. Yeah. So c6 is fine. I maybe could have considered. No, I don't want to play c5. Then it opens up the bishop check line, which we don't want. So yeah, the pawn's there if you want it, but I don't think you can take that. And your knight's under attack, so maybe it's a rerouting thing to get yourself to b3, which is an option. But if you're there, if you're putting a knight there and a bishop there, then you've got one really sorry bishop that's never getting out if this pawn can't move, if that pawn can't move. So I'm expecting something crazy like b4, or probably most likely knight goes back, because I think in this line, if you're going there, I'm going there, I think you've basically got to take there. Does leave me with an isolated c-pawn. I'm not castled. Right, b3, missing the fact the knights on pre. There's nothing missing, I don't think. So pick up the knight. Sometimes it can be for white. You've looked at the fact that you can't take on b7 and you've eliminated that, and you think, oh, I need to prepare it with other moves, but you missed the original threat, just queen takes knight. So I think if you're carrying on, you've got to be continuing through with your plan. You've got to get your bishop out. I want to castle. I want to play my knight out. And now that we're up a piece, I think the game plan shifts really to exchanging some pieces. Other thoughts are, given that all of white's pieces, or the majority of their pieces, are in this little cube here, there's very little defending his king side. If you have a look over here, there's not much protection for his king, so would be in a good position to try and strike an attack. Bring our knight out. To say that the two bishops could cause me some problems. The fact he's not contesting the centre is quite nice. Just need to find a good setup for some pieces. Looking at like bishop g4. If he's going back, I'm happy to trade. a3. Could throw our knight into the centre. I think now is the time to castle, isn't it? I'm not worried about any b4. I've got thoughts of going over to h5. Oh, this is kind of interesting, is it? g5? g5 with bishop h3. The only thing I've got to be slightly careful if I do decide to go horizontally across the fifth row is how I get my queen back. This is obviously safe, doing things like this. Okay, queen's coming out, so first thing I'm thinking is bishop g4, or better still, knight e5. Get rid of that light squared bishop. Like the look of that. Don't think there's many downsides, and eliminates one piece that could checkmate me. So knight e5, like that. Attacking both the queen and the bishop. So when the queen moves, I've got the option of picking up the bishop, but depending where the queen moves, we might have a few more tempo moves potentially. To see if we can, I don't know, like throw some knights forwards. Queen h3, not the move, I'm afraid, when the bishop stares at it. So we trade there. Now, is there a nice mating idea? So one simple way is we just take the bishop there, eliminate that piece, but let's look for the kill. So there, king there. Take there. Let's just keep it simple. Again, you can probably look at this at the engine, and the engine would find a more forcing win after knight f3 check. But we'll take there, we'll pick up the knight. I think we've got this check to pick up the pawn. King h1 is forced. Pick up the pawn there. I should probably be looking at like d5 to get my bishop on this long diagonal. But I think at this point everything's winning, isn't it? I'm up a queen and a pawn. Rook goes over to defend. Yeah, that's fine. I've still got escape squares. Can't play like that. So we could pick up this pawn, put pressure on there, kind of like that. Again, lots of stuff's going to be moving here. Putting pressure on h3. Does the king really want to come to g2? Would have some knight maneuvers. So if the king comes up, knight h5, then into f4. Yeah, here it's just about not hanging any pieces, not hanging a back rank in any kind of scenario. Okay, covers it with pawn. Swing the knight round. Yeah, let's get a piece involved. So I've still got the diagonal to escape on. This bishop's undefended, so there could be some ways of like rook across, and if I move my queen across, I'll lose the bishop there. But I suppose even in that line, I'd have the bishop there at the end, the queen there at the end. Sorry. Okay, so he moves his bishop there, but that's not even threatening to take, because if you take there, you drop mate in 1. So maybe we just continue bringing our knight in. So yes, you can pick up that bishop that's there, but it's really not what you want to be doing. Okay, so he takes it, and then that is mate on f1. So that's our 4th kind of pre-game to getting rated secured. Thanks for watching.